Chair Weiler and members of the committee, thank you very much for this time. My name's Sarah Woodbury. I live in Smithfield, Utah, and have traveled to speak with you today as a citizen, as a student, and as a fifth-generation Utahn in opposition to this bill. I was born not far from here in Kaysville, and I've gone to school and worked in Utah for my whole life. And as I'm sure you are, I am completely in love with the state, from its mountains to its incredible people. And as a student of natural resources social sciences at USU, I've been honored to work across Utah with ranchers, farmers, tribes, government agencies, LDS leaders, and other groups on conservation issues. And I can't tell you how many times I've heard from many different mouths one particular phrase: water is life. Whatever else separates us at times, we Utahns all agree on this core truth that water is life. With this in mind, I'm quite troubled by HB 249. This is a bill referencing personhood rather than calling other beings human beings. It's about a legal definition of personhood. And my question for you all is, why limit our extension of rights to humans when our own lives directly depend on the health of our lands, waters, and wildlife? Over the last 2 years, I've been lucky to travel to Ecuador and Chile to meet with global leaders in this work in awarding rights to natural entities. And the process, however strange it sounds at first glance, has really moved me. Awarding legal personhood to natural entities honors indigenous knowledge, meets some of the very real ecological and social challenges of our time, and supports the well-being of citizens. And as part of my master's work, I've been privileged to speak with farmers and ranchers living near the Bear River, as well as the northwestern band of the Shoshone Nation about water issues. And from this work, I'm convinced that there's a deep spirit of collaboration in the state that this bill underestimates. Especially living in such a dry state, we need healthy rivers and lakes to support our children's health, the state's emergency preparedness, air quality, and agriculture. Including natural entities in our legal frameworks is one potential way to sensibly avoid social ecological failures in the future and to ensure that our shared natural resource needs are met. To bar critical natural entities from ever being considered as having rights, especially when corporations are afforded this recognition, is baffling at best and dangerous at worst. What does it say about our state and legacy to throw out even the possibility of this expansive framework? So speaking as a young professional representing the future of Utah, I ask each of you fellow Utahns, please do not support this bill. Thank you, committee members, for supporting the natural legacy of our great state and for your time. I'm happy to answer any questions.
We do have a question. So Senator Kennedy, your light is back on.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thanks for your testimony. Tell me what kind of rights would you apply to what, you're talking about water, so tell me the type of rights that humanity ascribes to humanity that you'd like to give to water. For example, the Great Salt Lake or a river. Tell me about the kind of rights that you'd like to attribute to that entity.
The folks that I have learned from are people like Agustin Grijalva Jimenez in Ecuador, who's led this work there, who has awarded rights to Los Cedros, which essentially allows it to fulfill its being as a forest. So this kind of a legal framework does not say that other beings are human beings, but rather it brings into our legal structures and processes the ability to consider these basic beings that we all depend on as humans.
May I follow up on that question?
Yes, please.
So why can't we do that without ascribing human rights to that entity?
So that is a common phrase that I'm interested in because this is a bill about personhood, not human rights. So it's saying that these entities should be considered as beings or entities with rights or with, like, for example, we require healthy wetlands to have
so my question is, would you ascribe personhood to whatever you've just referenced? Is that what you're recommending?
I'm saying that should not be barred from our...
Well, tell me, so personhood means I have a right to get a driver's license, I have a right to vote, I have a right to come here and testify. Mm-hmm. These are inanimate objects that can't speak for themselves, and we should protect them. In fact, there are many people that don't have a right to vote that we should still take care of them and respect them and be compassionate to them. My question is, how do you ascribe personhood to something that, tell me, how do you give a cow a driver's license or the right to vote, for example, or an inanimate object like a river, which we all should respect and want to take care of? What sort of personhood rights would you like to ascribe to that entity?
So comparing the rights of a human being to the rights of another being is not what this framework is talking about. It's not saying the same rights as what a human gets or what you give to a river.
Thank
It's
you,
saying,
Mr.
for
Chair.
example, that
I think we have that clear. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you.